wildlands. In July 2021, with the increase in travel restrictions caused by Brexit and the pandemic, we decided to buy off-grid land in Portugal to live a more sustainable lifestyle.
Follow along with our journey as we turn our beautiful but derelict land into our very own slice of off-grid heaven. Wildlands.
Hello and welcome to our Christmas video at the Wildlands, and I think we've been here about 4 months now. In the 4 months that we've been here, we've had 2 days of rain, which was 2 months ago, and we're on the lead up to Christmas. It's day after tomorrow, and it's raining. Rain forecast for Christmas Day, so the plan is to move the wood burner forward and give the shade house a big tidy up, because we've shoved everything that was outside and is now in the rain inside the shade house, so it's a bit of a mess. So that needs a damn good tidy up, ready for our Christmas celebrations. So it's a first of many things which we'll cover off later in our Christmas video. So suffice to say, and I'm sure we'll all wish you well later, but have a very Merry Christmas and enjoy today's festive video.
Today we're going to recap the most amazing, fantastic, crazy year that was 2021 for us. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It has been a wild ride.
So we're going to shoot through all the major things that happened to us in these last months and all the things that we're really, really proud of. And Dom's going to work his editing wizardry and stick some shots in there so you can follow along and see what it was like for us.
With just one Christmas beer.
I think you can have more than one at Christmas.
Have 2 on Christmas.
You can have Guinness.
Oh, can have Guinness.
What are you having, Rosie? What's your tipple?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Iced tea for Christmas. Chilling. So at the beginning of the year we were in the UK at Dom's mum's house, and the UK was in lockdown, so I won't say too much about that. We did apply for our visa in February, which was really exciting for us. It was the start of our journey coming out to Portugal.
Waiting.
We are, there's no mention that bit.
No, it's our Christmas present, isn't it?
Yes, we're going to get our visa granted tomorrow.
Yep.
They'll email us.
Yep. Happy Christmas, here's your visa.
Yeah. We spent May and June with lots of our friends in the UK. We went to all different van gatherings and private gatherings. We went to Cozy Adventures LAN, Camp Cozy, and the Stratford Van Show.
The Stratford Van Show, that was epic. We spent 3 days with Greg and Lou and Rob and John and Mandy for John's birthday.
That's right, yeah. That was
we didn't drink at all, did we? Or sing very late at night.
I don't think we should talk about that weekend.
I could slip a little clip in as it's Christmas. What do you think?
That was really good fun.
I'm feeling left out. Oh no!
Right, I'll get you back now. Oh no, John's filming too.
And it's Rosie.
Oh,
Right, let's all mob them. Come on, let's mob them.
oh, quick, Greg,
it's
we love you, Greg.
Oh, Greg. Oh, Greg.
Oh, Greg.
I love them.
Thank you. Triple thank you.
And we can't forget the dogs and the cats. So,
You're welcome.
happy anniversary.
We also featured in the media loads this year. That's been crazy. I never would have expected that. So a little rundown. I was on Woman's Hour on Radio 4, which I thought was just amazing. Just talking about van life and explaining it to the masses, which was really fun.
Yep. We were on Steph's Packed Lunch on Channel 4,
Live TV.
which was scary but fun and went very well, apart from the rain.
It did, yes, that was cool.
My husband had travelling in a van as on his old age bucket list, and I came across the hashtag van life on Instagram one day and lost myself for a couple of hours scrolling through all the fantastic images. And it was so dreamy, you know, people looking out their back doors at beaches and sunsets and mountains. And I went to him and I said, wouldn't this be nice to do one day? You know, let's come up with a 5-year plan. And he went, well, no, let's do it next year. And that was it. Within a couple of months, we had a van. We'd started working on it.
Yeah. And was it quite easy to organise, Dom, then, to just suddenly, you know, sell up?
No, it was quite an impulsive decision. And then we discussed it as a family for a couple of months.
Yeah.
I'd never driven a van, never been away in a camper van or anything. So
really? But you just still really wanted to do it?
So we then decided as a family, yeah, let's do it. So then the reality hit. We bought the van. We converted it all ourselves. So that took us 8 months. So while we were building the van, we were also packing our house up.
Yeah.
And we realised just how much stuff we had in the house. It was quite a challenge.
And we're just seeing the van before you did it up, so that's how you originally got it then?
Yeah.
And then it was a case of kitting it out?
We had to rip out everything, parcel shelves, bulkhead. We had Rosie bashing the rivets out.
That was actually surprisingly fun doing that, because I
Was
got
it?
to hit things.
And is this you guys now for life, do you think? Are you just going to stay out on the road? Could you ever see a day where you go back into a physical house?
Not like we were before. No, I don't think so. Not sure what the distant future will hold, but for now we're more than happy in the van. We haven't seen hardly anything yet. We've done a lot of France and Spain and Portugal and some of England, and we were looking forward to going north and going to Morocco, and then of course the pandemic stopped that. So we haven't seen anything yet, really.
Yeah. Do you reckon you've got room for Anton? Because he's...
I can take some of the driving, perhaps. I'm very good like that.
That'd be nice, because I do all the
Give you a
driving,
break.
so we can take it in
I'd
turns.
give you a break, yeah.
Yeah.
I scared the poop out of the cats. Oh dear.
Just me first. So I've got a walking cam on now, so you'll be a bit shaky. There's little John. There he is. Man himself there.
That's not one.
serious.
Is that your first?
Still on my first one.
Yeah, I haven't even started. Look.
Really?
Look, I've got a spare hand. Look, nothing in it.
Morning. So we're at the Channel Tunnel. Bit of a rude awakening today. Both set our alarms for 6:30. Neither alarm went off and we got up at 7:30.
What time do we have to leave?
8.
So we did an hour and a half's worth of stuff in half an hour.
Yep.
Google says we have 34 minutes left to drive there, and we have 47 minutes left on the timer. But we have just spotted the Pyrenees off in the distance, way off in the distance. They're the Misty Mountains at the moment. Are we going to do it? Today, isn't it? Wait till you get to proper Spain. Wow, look at that view! Whee! Ah. Google tried to take us down a teeny tiny little road that Dom said we would not have fitted down, so we had to keep driving, and then Google Maps rerouted us, but instead of having 13 minutes to cross the border with about 20 minutes left on the timer, we have 18 minutes
at the roundabout. Take the second exit,
which means we're down to a 2-minute buffer.
Spain.
Viva España.
That's your little tradition, isn't it?
It is. So yeah, that was a. Did we make it to Spain in 24 hours? No, we didn't.
Not quite. Oh, we were so close.
It was my fault because I was trying to save us an hour on the Malaga end of getting through Spain by cutting through the mountains on the D roads. So I looked on Google Maps and they looked kind of alright. But then in reality, when we got there, the road was tiny, really tiny, and I thought it was probably fine, but I thought if it's going to be like this. So we had to double back, which cost us about 35 minutes.
Yeah, which was
so in reality, we did.
We would have done it.
Yeah, if we hadn't
done the little detour through the mountains.
Yeah, but it was a nice detour.
And as it was, we were only about half an hour. No, 25 minutes over our 24-hour stay. And now we're in Spain, and there was nothing at the borders. And let's get to the beach.
So we've done 1,300 miles from Calais to this point, and we're 1 hour 20 minutes from Malaga, which is our destination, right down on the Med. So having driven across the entire north to south of Spain in 2 days, split in half. So it's 9:30 on Saturday, and we stayed overnight on this piece of land which we've fallen in love with. Typically us. First day of looking at properties, we looked at 4 properties yesterday, and we're already thinking of this property as being ours. So this morning, a bit of a rare occasion for the last week or so, I've got trousers and docks on, which is because we're going to go for a proper explore of the land. We'll take you with us so you can have a look round, but it's very, very overgrown. Don't think anybody's lived here for at least 50 years, and it's a stunning, absolutely stunning piece of land. And we got ripped to shreds by brambles and bracken yesterday, cuts all over our legs from wearing shorts and Crocs, which are not very sensible items of clothing to wear when looking at rural land. So we got our trousers on. I'm going to go through the overgrowth and have a really good look. But it is the most amazing landscape, just stunning. You'll see what I mean when we take you down. All different levels, lots of overgrown terraces that used to be farmed with absolutely wonderful arable soil. There's cork trees, oak trees, fig trees, Lots of olive trees, trees everywhere, quite a few pine trees, but not massive ones, but it is just beautiful.
I like this. It's nice land. I think I could live here. It's got lots of bugs. I like bugs. They're everywhere.
So this is the back of the ruin, and it is a particularly rickety ruin. So that's the side of the ruin. Very bouldery, and then it drops off quite considerably there. Probably about 4 metres off this level here. The ruin is in 2 halves. The left half has completely collapsed on one side, and full of all the roof tiles that have fallen in. Bit of the old door, and then the right side has got no roof, but it's still got the door mantle, and still got a bit of a door. It's really full of rubble. There's the old door. So all the roof tiles are on the floor. Little nook there. And see where the roof would have run. So this is kind of relatively intact. So a lot of work to repair this, make it into a workshop, or maybe a covered sitting area.
It's like signing a wedding ceremony. It's just the
Thank you.
And also, initials here. And another signature here.
Is that it?
Good.
I've done it.
Congratulations.
We got land.
Yes, congratulations.
We got him. We signed it. We got land.
We got land! God, you made me jump out my skin then. Land! Come on, I'll show you in our house. You're going to give them a tour, Missy.
Hello.
So we finally finished clearing the floor of our house, and it turns out that a lot of the floor is just this massive slab of granite with a pit where there's earth and lumps where there's stone. It took us 3 days to fully clear the floor in here. That's only 3 days working about 3 hours each morning. Couldn't work anymore because it was just so incredibly hot. So in that time we cleared out the top layer, which was weeds and scrub, the second layer, which was all of the roof tiles that had fallen in, the third layer, which was big slabs of ancient bits of cork that we think had been used to insulate the inside of the roof, and then some sticks and stuff, but most of the sticks that had been the roof beams had all decomposed and rotted. And then when we got down to the bottom, which was granite, we swept that off and just kept digging in between them to see if there was more granite, and we came to the conclusion that there's a couple of granite boulders and the rest is just earth. So if you kept digging, you'd just end up with giant pits. So we stopped. This is what it looks like now. The plan now is to leave some of the rough parts of the boulders, level out and smooth off some of the dirt areas with cement, and might think about having to put in a French drain in behind the back wall, because that's where the slope meets the house and we're a bit worried about the water coming through. So with a French drain, that'll channel the water away out the side. And as Dom said earlier, we've got a roof on order. We're going to make a wooden frame for the roof to sit on, and then this will be watertight. Nice little cosy spot. We're not entirely sure what we're actually going to do with it yet. Possibly, probably as tool storage to start with, but it might be a nice little place to come and sit on a rainy day.
So there we go, half the ruin cleared and the other half to go, which will be a challenge. So we're going to get a digger in to help move the big blocks on the other side, but we're very pleased with that result. So we've made a template at the bottom, a 199 centimetre piece of wood, which we're going to temporarily bolt on, which was Martin's suggestion, and then we're going to measure the same gap higher up and then use some scrap timber to hold it together, and then we'll replicate the same on the other side so we know that the gap is exactly the same so that it's symmetrical. So we cut a template piece of wood for the bottom at 199 centimetres. So over here at the back, so we've screwed it on here, and then around here, keep that in there with a diagonal to hold it in place till the roof slats are in. So I think it would be better to put the diagonal, the struts on to stop it sagging for the spirit. Trellising on what I'm calling the balcony wall, which will look a lot better once I clear the mitre saw, which is covered over to keep the damp off till we have a tool shed. So if I take you around to the IBCs, which are all installed, all joined up. Christmas off-grid, our very first Christmas off-grid, which is very exciting, but equally it's also rather sad because we were, as you've seen from previous videos, trapped here for Christmas. So for me, it's my 54th Christmas and my first Christmas without my mum.
Yeah.
It's also very sadly our first Christmas for 15 years without Bogey.
Yeah.
And he did love Christmas, didn't he?
He loved it. He used to open his own presents. We'd wrap up bones or toys and we'd give them to him and he would love it. Shred that paper off.
Yeah, poor old Bogey. But he'd be with us in spirit.
Yep.
And our first Christmas without my children, grandchild. So very sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, all a bit different in these crazy times, but we're making the most of it, aren't we?
We are. We wanted to say a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for every time you've hit the like button on one of our videos.
Hit the like button now.
Thank you for every time you've joined the live chat or watched one of our videos as it premiered. Thank you for subscribing to our channel.
Thank you for all your wonderful comments. We've had thousands of comments over this year as the channel's grown, and it really does mean a lot to us reading your comments of encouragement and ideas.
Most of them are answered by Dom.
Yeah.
All by yourself.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. I did 255 in one day once.
Wow.
But I love them.
You keep
so
them busy.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for every coffee you've bought us, when you've bought merch, when you've done all those little things that support us. Even when you watch the adverts on our videos, you're still supporting us. That's a few pennies in our pocket that we put straight into Wildlands, which is fantastic.
Every coffee goes into Wildlands.
It does?
Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for those.
Thank you!
Hello. I'd like to say a very happy Christmas from me, Juan. It's raining now today, but I'd like a wiki. Happy Christmas!
Thanks for watching, and thanks for following us all this lovely year.
And we'd like to wish you all a very lovely Christmas with peace, joy and good health in the coming year.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!